Hello, you guys. Welcome to Monday with the Mavens.
I'm sorry, you guys. I'm totally... Welcome to Monday with the Mavens, guys.
Yes. Oh.
What?
I think that I'm on my personal one. Nope,
Oh.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm so sorry, you guys.
We are a little bit out of... we're out of practice.
We are out of practice, and we put our phones on Do Not Disturb, but she's still getting phone calls and texts, which is really weird.
And I think it's only, I put my phone in sleep mode every night. What? I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're a little cockeyed over on Instagram. But I put my phone in like sleep mode every night, and then only certain people can get through to me, like my kids, like if they're.
Asa, you were trying to call your mom.
Yeah.
What you do in bed?
I can't talk. What do you need?
I miss you, friend.
I saw that you called, and I hung up on you. I didn't accept your phone call. So if it's really important, you can drop it in messages, because now you have our attention.
Okay, you guys, we're going to jump in. First of all, happy Monday after spring break. We're so excited to be here together with you guys. We have a handful of things that we're going to jump into. All of that said, if you have any questions, any comments, anything along the way, absolutely put them below. We will do our best to pay attention to try to get them answered. Most people watch this after the fact, so feel free to DM us, comment, whatever you want, and we will be your Girl Friday.
What? Girl Friday?
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
What that is?
No.
I think I should probably double check this to make sure it's something naughty. Like Girl Friday is like we'll get right back to you, right?
Maybe she should have just said, we'll get right back to you. Because I don't know. I feel
I'm
like
gonna
it looks
look
like
it
I
up.
have like a black tooth. I don't have a black tooth, see?
Do any of you guys know what Girl Friday means? I hope I didn't just say something inappropriate.
Wouldn't be
Wouldn't
the
be
first time.
Oh.
Okay, let's jump into it. You guys, it is the Monday after spring break, at least for us here in Southern Oregon. My kids actually have one more day off from school. Today is a grading day, and so they go back to school tomorrow. But we are back at it, back in business, Macro Mavens. Not that we ever go to sleep, because Macro Mavens is just like this machine that keeps on chugging. But we haven't been with you guys for a couple of weeks, and we're back, and we're super excited to talk about all things spring related. It's time to jump back in. It's time to get back on track. If you were one of many people who went on vacation during spring break, if you didn't have to work, maybe you took your kids on a vacation or went somewhere warm, or maybe you went somewhere cold. We went somewhere very cold. It is like eternal winter in Central Oregon right now. And so we went and we skied and we played in the snow all week long. It was wonderful. But man, I am ready for some sun. And I'm also...
It's coming this week in Southern Oregon.
Yes. And I'm also ready to get back into a routine and get back on track. And so those are some of the things we're going to talk about today.
And boy, we got home last night, and I told myself, I am jumping back into all the things tomorrow morning. And I did, and I feel good, you guys. I had a really active vacation, but I also did all the things. And so
she ate her way through Utah.
I did, and I loved every second of it.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, for those of you that are in the process of a reverse, of a cut, of climbing to maintenance, it's so much more important to track with specificity. Not that you have to do that on vacation, but you do need to be mindful. I've been in loose maintenance for a while, so I have a lot more flexibility in doing that. But I definitely overindulged more than I typically would. And so I'm right there with those of you that maybe feel like you spun your wheels, or that you've had a hard time really jumping back in and tracking with specificity, getting back on the wagon of feeling good. Because for me anymore, I mean, of course I always want to achieve optimal aesthetics, but that aside, it's more about how I feel. Because when I'm not eating clean, when I'm not moving my body, when I'm not staying hydrated enough, I don't feel my best. And that's my biggest motivator. I want to feel good. I want to have sustained energy. I want to have good sleep. I want to have good level mood. I want to have balanced hormones. And the biggest way to achieve that is through nutrition.
Yep.
And so, starting with that, because we did, whether you're our client or not, we had a lot of people that found themselves, off the wagon, so to speak.
Is it off the wagon? Do you fall off the wagon and then you get back on the wagon?
Yeah.
I feel like maybe that's right.
Yeah.
But sometimes I wonder,
And some of you might have fallen off the wagon in the river and got drugged down a bit, so.
Wow. If that's you, we are here for you guys. We are here for you.
Step number 1, do not play the shame game.
No!
Show yourself some grace.
Yes.
Today is a new day, and that's all that matters. Put it behind you, and all that matters is that you jump right back in.
Yeah.
The simplest things that you can do, if you're tracking, hit your numbers, communicate with your coach, because we might need to make some revisions to your plan depending on what took place and where you're at in the process. Drink your water.
Oh my gosh,
and then
you guys.
some more. Like
Yeah.
hydration
Water,
is key.
water, and then some more water, and then some more water.
Yeah. And then if you are somebody that had a tendency to maybe drink more over spring break, consider minimizing your alcohol, whether indefinitely or at least for this season where you're really trying to reset your body. Like that is going to make a huge difference. Prioritize your sleep, make sure you're getting enough fiber, and move your body. It comes back to our pillars, you guys.
Totally.
It's so
simple.
I know we say so simple. I know that it can take some time to build those habits over time, but really it's your nutrition, it's your movement, it's your mindset, it's your sleep, it's your stress resilience, your water and fiber. Like if you can be mindful of those and have tools to help you gain habits in those, like you're so far ahead. Yep. So far ahead.
And also the other thing is like, don't get into the habit of being like, okay, I went on vacation, I stepped on the scale, and oh my gosh, the scale is up a few pounds. For one, that could be a million different reasons why that happens. And then you're like, you know what? Today I'm going to start cutting my calories and I'm just not going to eat any food.
I'm going
to restrict myself.
Don't do it.
Yeah, don't do that, you guys. Do not do that. Yeah. Our lives should not be, it should not be a roller coaster of restriction and then overindulgence and then restriction and overindulgence.
That's actually called an eating disorder.
Yeah. It's like binging. It's a binge cycle.
Even if mild, you guys, it's that poor relationship with food over time. And I will just use myself as an example. I did step on the scale and I've weighed the same amount for a long time now in maintenance, and I'm significantly heavier in a week's period of time, but it's not all fat. And I know that, like, I rode my bike a ton and my legs are super sore. And so I know I'm retaining water.
She also sat in a motorhome for 10 hours yesterday.
Yeah.
Like that alone will cause the scale to go up, you guys.
Yeah.
You have to be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
Be real. Like we're not saying don't be real. If you're eating 3,500 calories roughly over your maintenance, then you're probably,
per day.
Yeah, then you probably are gaining fat. Yeah. That's probably true.
Yeah.
However, if you're not doing that on a daily basis and the scale is up, then there are other things going on. Where are you in your menstrual cycle? Yeah. Did you eat a meal later in the night? Did your meal have more carbohydrates and sodium? Yeah. Did you exercise really hard? Are you super stressed out? Did you have poor sleep? Yeah. Did you drink alcohol? Any one of those reasons will cause the scale to go up in the mornings, regardless of what you're eating.
Weight gain and fat gain are two different things.
Yeah.
And just to go back to using myself as an example, I probably did gain a little bit of fat over the week because I was in a surplus. I was super active, but I ate differently than I typically do. But the thing is that I know myself, I know my body, I jump right back in today, I make sure I stay super hydrated, I'm prioritizing my sleep, I'm back into my routine, I'm moving my body, and I'm eating clean nutrition, and my body will readjust super quickly.
Yeah.
And so I'm okay with that because it was worth it to me.
And she's not shaming herself, you guys.
Not at all.
I had dessert, I had Girl Scout cookies, I had a cocktail.
Yeah.
I had all of the good things.
And you can fit those things into your plan and have success. Absolutely. It's not about deprivation because deprivation does not lead to sustainability.
No, it has to be sustainable, you guys. If you are eliminating all of the foods that you enjoy, then down the road you're gonna be frustrated and you're gonna resent yourself. And nobody wants that. So instead, allow room for the things that you love, work around them, and then move on. If you make a poor choice, and I say poor choice, whatever that looks like for you, if you make a choice that later on, the 24-hour you, the next day is like, man, why did I do that? Then adjust the next time. But in the moment, like, I had a Moscow Mule with one of my closest, dearest friends, and I don't regret it for an instant. We had so much fun. We had a wonderful night. We had a great food, great company. It was super fun. I don't regret it. Do I normally drink alcohol? I don't. Not very often, very rarely. But don't shame yourself, you guys.
Yeah.
You're an adult, hopefully, unless it's my son who's almost an adult, but not quite. But you can make your own.
She said that because he's on our Instagram.
He's on our Instagram, or at least he was. He was probably like, why isn't my mom answering the phone? Oh, wait, she's on the internet. Anyway, so don't shame yourself. You're a grown-up. You can make grown-up decisions and then just move on.
I do want to say, though, because we talk about you can fit the things in. You absolutely can. Now, that doesn't mean you should all the time because there is this thing called inflammation, right? Yeah. And that low-grade chronic inflammation is what leads to disease over time. So if you can, for sure, fit things in that you enjoy here and there, I absolutely do. But be aware of the foods that are creating that low-grade inflammation in your body that are probably limiting you from reaching your goals as quickly as you want to. what happens is as you swap things out over time is you slowly start to eliminate or replace some of those more inflammatory foods. And that's going to be things like your grains, your dairy, your sugar, your seed oils, and your alcohol. Then you start to find things that taste equally as good. Like if you're used to eating Skittles every day and soda pop, then something like a bell pepper or blueberries is probably not going to taste super sweet and satisfying. You start removing some of those things, and all of a sudden those things like start to taste like candy because they're really sweet on their own, and you start enjoying them just as much, but you're actually fueling your body and your brain, and you're moving away from disease and not closer to it. Just a little example.
Yep, there you have it, guys. Okay, so let's move on. Let's talk about, okay, so now spring break is over. You're like, I'm getting back into my routine. Spring is in the air. It's going to be Easter this weekend. If you're in Southern Oregon, it's going to be in the 70s, which is...
Although the weather forecast keeps changing.
I'm hanging on to the 70s because I haven't even got to drive my cute little yellow bug for many months, and I'm ready to pull her out and to give her a little wash and to get out in the sunshine. So that is what I'm going to do this weekend. And so we want to talk to you guys about how to jump into spring, how to spring into spring success. What did I wrote it down. I didn't.
Successful strategies
for spring success.
Simple strategies for a successful spring.
That's what it was.
It's
alliteration.
Yeah. And honestly, it comes back to the regulars, you guys. Like the things we talk about all the time, but we can't stop talking about them because it's what makes a difference in your long-term sustainable health. Because what we don't want is we don't want to partner with people who have this short-term success, but then it's not sustainable and it's not something that carries over. We want to help our clients have the tools that they need to fuel their body, to have plenty of calories, to not live in a deficit, to achieve their physical goals, and more importantly, to have things like sustained energy, increased libido, better sleep, more hormone harmony, like all the things that come when you start to consistently fuel your body and your brain.
Yep.
It's all about those small habit forming tricks, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Tips, tools.
Yeah,
steps.
things. It's all the things that you need to create good habits. And so habits don't happen overnight. It's not like you try something one time and you're like, this is it. This is going to change my life. I wish that were the case. And let me give you a quick example of that. My freshman year of college, I lived with a bunch of my closest girlfriends in Eugene. We went to the University of Oregon, and I told myself, I was like, I am going to be a really clean roommate. And I was like, my dearest friend, she and I shared the master bedroom. And I was like, I'm going to be a really clean roommate. I'm going to put my laundry away every time I pull it out of the dryer. I'm going to make my bed every day. Like those were my goals.
Yeah.
And I was really good, you guys, for a while. Like I'd say like 4 or 5 days.
That's a while around here.
4 or 5 days. I was really good. I put my laundry away. My bed was made, all of the things. The room was tidy. And then like, I don't know, life got busy and it became less of a priority to me. And so I started filling my time with other things. And I was like, I'll make my bed when I get home from school, or I'll make my bed after whatever. Like, who knows? Or I'll put my laundry away when the next load is done, you know, like things like that. And pretty soon I was like, oh my gosh, I had set a goal and I didn't achieve it, and I shamed myself, and my roommate was like, you're such a slob. And I was like, no, I can do this. Yeah. And so what I did is I made a pact with myself, you guys. And it was every night before I went to bed. If I could not go to bed unless my laundry was put away. That was my goal every single night. If I had laundry that needed to be put away, I had to do it that night. The next thing is I would not allow myself to get in the shower in the morning until my bed was made. So I just shifted my mindset just slightly. Yeah. It's not like it takes me half an hour to make my bed.
Fast forward 25 years.
Fast forward at least that long, right? Sad. Fast forward a few years. And here I am. And
Sorry to put that out there. She's got a birthday coming up.
I do. But I make my bed every single day without question. It is a rare day when I don't make my bed. Now, laundry, on the other hand, is a little bit trickier. I'm still not horrible. I am less diligent about putting my laundry away than I was at the end of my freshman year of college. But I'm better than I was before my freshman year of college.
And you guys, I think that's such a great example, because it is about setting yourself up for one, like first identifying what is it that you want to achieve.
Yeah.
How can you achieve it? How can you put tools in place to allow yourself to be successful? And then what's your safety net if you're not?
Yep.
And so I'd like to talk about some tangible steps specific to health. But I think that the first thing that we should do is back up a little bit, and it's almost impossible to change everything at once. And so I think if we can each evaluate for ourselves, what is our lowest hanging fruit? And when we're talking about, let's just take our 5 pillars, for instance. When we're talking about nutrition, and we're talking about movement, and we're talking about stress resilience, and we're talking about deep restorative sleep, and then we're going to couple together hydration and fiber. And there's the whole mental aspect of health and social and all of that too that's important, but those tie into those other things. So let's just say those 5. Of those, what do you feel like you are struggling with the most?
Yeah.
Are you struggling to get a good, deep, consistent night's sleep? Because that is absolutely going to affect your progress. Are you in a constant state of stress and you don't have good tools for stress resiliency? Because that is going to affect your progress. Are you confused on your nutrition and just don't know where to start? Like, that is going to be your number one. Mm-hmm. Are you not hydrated enough? So you are not having the cognitive function, the energy, the skin, the hair, the nails, the digestion, all of the things. Like, that's a super low hanging fruit. So if you can at least identify of those, where are you struggling with the most? Because research shows that if you try to do too many things at once, the likelihood of doing any one of those things successfully dramatically goes down. So start somewhere.
Yeah.
And so, like, ask yourself right now, like, what is it that you are struggling with the most in this moment? And pick that one thing. Just that one thing. And then the great news is that we have so many tools. Whether you're our client or not, we have a lot more tools that are for clients only, but we do have a lot of free resources on our website, macromavens.life. You click on the toolbox, and let's just pick one of those. Let's just say that...
Let's pick water, because water is, that's really low-hanging fruit. It should be for everybody out there.
Yeah.
So let's talk about water.
Yep. Okay. So you're struggling to stay hydrated enough. Now, what does that mean? At minimum, you should be drinking half your body weight in ounces. If you weigh 150 pounds, that's 75 ounces of water per day. Now, if you're only drinking 30 ounces of water a day right now, don't bump up to 75. Like, slowly increase that 10 ounces week over week. We like to go beyond that. Once you've achieved that, we really work with our clients, especially if one of their goals is fat loss, shedding fat. We really work with our clients to push that more towards a gallon. Not everybody can achieve that, and that's okay. But
you can come close.
Yeah.
I am a little person, you guys, and I can drink a gallon of water without any problem.
Yep. Yeah.
So
but she didn't do it overnight.
No.
She worked herself up to that.
And I did spend a lot of time in the bathroom that first week, and that's to be expected.
And let's just talk about it for a minute. 1, go to our website, macromavens.life, click the toolbox, download the hydration flyer. It's going to give you step-by-steps on what you can do to increase your hydration. 2, like, what is your goal? Establish your goal. How much water are you wanting to get in this week? Okay, do you have a good water bottle that you enjoy drinking from? I drink so much more water when I drink from a straw.
Amen.
That's just one thing. Are you starting your day with water? Put an alarm on your phone. Remind yourself, make sure you drink water before you drink your coffee in the morning. Make sure that with your meals, you're getting enough water. Put another reminder on your phone midday. Where are you at in your water? Chug some if you need to. Like, have it accessible. Have a water bottle that you like. If you don't like plain water, think about putting something like lemon or mint leaves or cucumber or strawberries or whatever it may be in your water to help.
Or an
give it some
electrolyte.
flavor.
There's a million different things that you can add to your water that won't impact your macro assignment if you are on one, or that won't impact your nutrition at all. So find something that you love, you guys. Again, we say it all the time. If you don't love it, it's not going to be sustainable. If it's a chore, it's not going to be sustainable. You have to create a routine and habits to make it so that it is something you look forward to. I look forward to my water every day. For one, I have so many clients, you guys, who are like, I just feel bloated. Why do I feel bloated? And the number one thing I say is, you need to increase your water. You need to increase your water. If you are drinking, oh my gosh, if you're drinking a ton of water, then your body won't feel bloated. So just drink a lot of water.
And so those are the steps, you guys. You've identified the problem. You've identified the steps that you can take and the solution, and you have a safety net, right? So with water specifically, like, if you are not getting enough water in, you're going to identify how much water are you going to start with this week. You are going to put, just one idea, you're going to put reminders in your phone. So let's say at 7 a.m., at 12 o'clock, at 5 p.m., whatever it may be, that those pop up and check in on you with your water intake. You're going to make sure you have a good water bottle. You're going to make sure that there are things that you require yourself to do before you move on. If you're a coffee drinker, you're drinking your water before you drink your coffee. At meals, you're making yourself drink a certain amount. All of those things are going to be huge for success. And that can parallel to any one of those things. Mm-hmm. Let's say that nutrition is your biggest stuck point, which is true for most people. And it is, honestly, you guys, it is the biggest thing that you can do for change. You cannot exercise your way out of a bad fork. You just can't. Like, it's 80% plus nutrition.
I tried for years and years and years and years and years. And it just, nothing happened until I changed what I was putting in my mouth.
Yeah, it's huge. And the ratios of what you put in your mouth. So if you're confused, like, don't try to reinvent the wheel. Like, I wish earlier in life I recognize the power of a coach, because there's a lot of areas of my life now that I'm like, oh my gosh, there's people out there that know so much more than me in this particular subject, and I want to become an expert in it. I'm going to go to those people.
Yeah.
And I'm going to pay them for a season, and I'm going to learn, and I'm going to improve, and then I'm going to move on. And like,
yeah,
that's exactly what we do. Like, we have a poor business model in that we want our clients to graduate with all the tools they need for lasting success. But it's absolutely that. Like, we know what we're doing, and our coaches do, and we work with you to hit your goals and to have you have a sustainable plan and to have you understand how to appropriately fuel your body and fuel your brain. So if that is a stuck point for you, we're always accepting new clients. You can go to macromavens.life, click the hop on board button. Free consult, doesn't commit you to anything, but just lets us have a conversation. And that is the biggest thing. Like, if we could positively impact the nutrition of our communities in a bigger way, which is what our goal is, like, life would just look different for people. Like,
for like the whole world.
Yeah.
Because there's this trickle down effect.
Yeah.
And I can't remember, there's a statistic, and I'm horrible with statistics and numbers because I don't really care about them. I mean, I care, but whatever, you get it. But there's a whole thing
Sometimes she cares more than others.
It's true. But if you can change the life of a mother, then that alone affects multiple generations. And so the majority of our clients are women, are mothers. And
we work with men too.
Yeah, totally. Men and women. But honestly, like, the change, familial, yes. Familial change typically happens with the mother. And so if you're a mom, if you're not a mom, if you're a woman, if you're a man, if you're anybody, and you are desiring a change, a shift in how you feel and your nutrition, let us know. The other thing that Emmy didn't mention that I think is really powerful with shifting habits is having a buddy, having an accountability partner. If you want to increase, like, let's go back to the water example. If you want to increase your water intake, create a challenge with your buddy. You know, it was a couple of years ago, Emmy was like, let's do a challenge. Let's do 30 days where we drink a gallon of water every day. And we were accountability partners, remember? And we both carried around like water jugs. And, you know, she would text me and it'd be like 5 p.m. She's like, just finished my jug. And I'm like, dang it. I got, you know, I still have 20 ounces left. And it made it.
We're going to do a new challenge, you and I.
Look at that.
I'm excited.
Okay.
I have a couple ideas.
Okay. Let's not say I'm on the internet. Okay. Let's talk about it first, and then we'll tell the internet.
Okay.
But anyway, get a buddy and do a challenge and do something fun when you guys reach your goals. Go on a trip together. I don't know.
It's celebrating, and we do that with our clients. Like, every month, we have these community challenges, and right now it's a step count. Like, we want to celebrate, and we want to help create those habits. Like, the goals with our challenges within a challenge for our Macro Mavens community is that we're creating these small habitual changes over time that you can stack month over month.
Yeah.
And movement's another one. Like, if movement is something that you struggle with, like, of course, from a muscle preservation and building standpoint, resistance training is always going to be your number one friend. But low intensity, steady state movement, walking is so important, you guys. And so many people have really low step counts. And if you are getting on average a lower step count than 10,000 a day, like, there are a lot of little things you can do. Maybe that's your lowest hanging fruit. And so once again, like, we're going to make this a shorter live because
we've already talked for like 40 minutes.
Okay. Here's the thing, like, everybody's at a little bit different place. Yeah. And so once again, like, evaluate for yourself this spring, today, the start of April. I think it's the 2nd of April, but what is your lowest hanging fruit? What are you struggling with? What could you use some accountability for? Like, evaluate that. And once again, we'll just put that list out there. And it might be something entirely different, but is it your nutrition? Is it your water? Is it your sleep? Is it your stress? Is it your movement? I don't know if I said that one.
Do you want to eliminate inflammatory foods? Like, that's a big one, you guys.
Huge. And if any one of those things is your biggest stuck point or where you're struggling, we have really great tools for that. Start with one thing, and then of that thing, find the lowest hanging fruit in there. Like, what can you change? Let's say that it's sleep. Like, are you stopping eating and drinking a couple hours before bed? Are you turning off electronics at least an hour before bed or wearing blue light blocking glasses? Do you have a cold room? Do you have a dark room? Are you eliminating distractions? Are you practicing gratitude before you go to bed? Are you making a plan for the next day? Do you have an inviting bedroom? What are you doing to calm your mind? Are you doing deep breathing? Like, all of those things can become habits to help you not just increase the quantity of your sleep, but the quality of your sleep. I don't actually have that much quantity of sleep, but I have really good quality of sleep. It's all about efficiency for me, and I track it with my ring, and so I know how much deep sleep I'm getting, how much REM sleep I'm getting, what my resting heart rate is, what my recovery is like, and I know what affects that. And so those are all things that if you pick just one, like at least one, and you really dive in and perfect it and then go on to the next, those things will build and your life will be better for it.
Yep, totally. So those are a few things that you guys can do. There's so much, you guys, coming into spring. I feel like, you know, it is a season where there is new growth outside, where it is a great time to evaluate your own personal goals, to think of some new goals, perhaps, to set some things out on the horizon, to think of some big, audacious goals. I think Emmy and I need to sit down and look at our goals and reevaluate some of those things for Macro Mavens. But
a BHAG,
a
big, hairy, audacious goal.
Yep, and then put yourself out there. Like, what is your plan to reach those goals? So I know that a lot of people get into like the spring cleaning mode. It's the same thing. It's a spring overhaul. Look at your life. Look at the different things that you can change. What can you adjust? Because really, the goal is to be the most optimized person that we can, right? I want to be the most joyful. I want to have a very full life, and I want to be my healthiest person so that I can be all of the things that are so wonderful to give to my people, the people that I love. Absolutely. And I know that if I'm not taking care of that for myself, then I can't do that for the people that I love. So I have a handful of goals for the spring and some things that I'm going to clean out, and it's like out with the old, in with the new. I have a birthday coming up, and it's time to like reevaluate things, guys. If that's you, like, seize the time. Like, it's not all the time when we feel motivated to like charge and to do things, but if the spring is a season for you where you feel an extra added bit of motivation, then take advantage of that and use it, because motivation is fleeting. I feel like I have to rely on discipline way more than I have to rely on motivation. Same. But in the small windows where I have that motivation, I'm going to use it.
Amen.
And you should too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if we can help in any way, absolutely, you can always message us. If you're interested in partnering with us and working with a skilled coach for your own individual plan, you can go to macromavens.life, click the hop on board button. It doesn't commit you to anything, but it just lets us connect, see if we're a good fit, answer questions. We have a ton of free resources on our website, macromavens.life. You can click the toolbox button, and we're here to help you guys. Let this spring be a catalyst to propel you towards more optimal health, because why not?
Honestly,
like, why not?
Why not?
What do you want to do that you can't?
Don't you want to feel good? Don't you want to be able to say yes to all of the things, all of the opportunities and adventures that come in your way? That's my goal. My whole life goal is to be able to say yes to all of the opportunities at any time, at any moment, and to not feel like,
you have to train for it.
Yeah. I don't want to feel like, oh, I'm not physically able to do X, Y, or Z. I just want to say yes all the time.
Like the big things. Like, I'm going to do some big things this year.
Yes.
Yes,
I'm going to say yes to all of the things.
And I'm going to invite her along to a lot of those things, and she's going to do them.
Well, we'll see. We'll talk about that off the internet.
Did you guys hear that?
I'm not going to say yes to things that I don't know.
That you don't like.
That I don't want to do. Anyway, more coming at you about that, guys. This might be our first conflict.
Whoa.
No, it's not a conflict.
It's not a conflict.
I always say yes. She knows what to say.
Not always.
Anyway, we're rambling. Have a great week, guys. We'll be back next week. Same day-ish. Same day, same time-ish. Have a great one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.